going on, everybody? This is the Objective Jerk. Happy New Year. How was everybody's New Year party? It's all right. Hope you stayed home. Didn't get in trouble. Um, man, well, first of all, what got me to this? So this episode is primarily about the looniness of the liberals, dude. The loony liberals. And it's not many of them, I don't think. It seems like it's just a few, but man, they are fucking psycho. Said the F word. Dang it. Anyway. Yeah, so I had a good New Year's for the most part. I got baptized finally in the morning, which was nice, and then went to my wife's family. They had, the party this year or whatever, and in the neighborhoods, and dude, Filipinos are just like nuts about being loud. You know what I mean? Shooting off like the loud gunshot like fireworks, and then shooting out the fireworks, and then they all have like this stupid exhaust that just blah, blah, and they drive their motorcycles around, and it's just like it's annoying. It's so annoying. I told my wife never again. I don't care. I don't want to. At where I live, it's kind of. I mean, my house is away from the road and everything, so don't have to deal with that as much. I really don't even give two shits about celebrating New Year's. It's just another day. It's just another year. It's not like nothing magical happens. Oh my God, it's the New Year. It's just whatever. Who cares? But whatever. It is what it is. The one thing I did like about it though is I smoked or grilled a whole hog for New Year's because we were gonna do it for Christmas or something, but we decided against it. And I've always wanted to do a whole hog, and I've never had a smoker that was big enough, and I have like a pit that when we had some contractors doing some work on the house like 6 months ago or whatever it was, and we have all this cinder block that we ordered that we never used, so it's just sitting there crumbling. But so it was like, hey, do this, all these little things, because I'm not good. I'm not a masonry man, and I think I would do even a worse job because of the cinder blocks that are here that they make. They fall apart. They're really brittle. They're a lot narrower than the cinder blocks you get in the States, But anyway, so while we had those contractors here, I asked them to build, I just kind of drew a line and was like, hey, this, and explained what I wanted. It was just like a big box, a big concrete box, and it was going to be my compost. So they, dug it down, put the blocks. I don't know if they did put a little rebar into it, and they filled it with concrete. And they even, when they had extra cement for finishing and stuff, they put it on there, so it's like even sealed it even more, So I've been using that, throwing our food, and our yard waste and stuff like that. We don't have grass, so we don't have grass clippings and stuff, but just other stuff. So it's been going in there for months. I get it wet occasionally, but I don't really stir it like you're supposed to. But anyway, so it was pretty full, and on the top of it just had a bunch of like dry leaves and twigs from the last few times. And I was like, okay, I can turn that into a pit. I can turn that into, because I was thinking of clearing this area and then getting, and it takes like 100 blocks or whatever, and stacking and doing all this kind of crap. And I was like, I could just kind of use the compost. It'd be, I mean, it still takes some work, but it'd be a little easier and quicker, And so that's what I did. I just kind of burned the compost. So I just lit it and let it burn, and then it just kind of ashed, and then it had all the good compost dirt at the bottom. So it all mixed up. So I got that all out and I put it in where I'm going to put a garden, mixed it with the dirt and stuff. So some good soil, I think. I'm still going to do another compost. I think I'm just going to move it somewhere. I'm going to keep using this as a smoker fire pit until we extend our backyard, because our property goes like really far back, but it's built on like a foundation, so it's over like farming land, right? So when people build, if people have property and they decide they want to build, commercial or a home or something, they build on top of it. And so they build a foundation, the cinder blocks, fill it with dirt, and so on and so forth. So ours is only just a little bit past our house, so I actually kind of have like a small backyard, but we want to extend it further eventually. So once that happens, then I'll probably build another fire pit that's kind of legit, because I actually, I want to build a nice, good steel smoker, weld it. I got a welder, and I've been practicing welding other stuff, and that's been a goal of mine for a couple of years now. Actually, since I've been here, because I made the current smoker I have, which I don't even really use anymore, because it was just out of a 50-gallon drum and a bunch of rebar laying around. And it worked, but it wasn't the greatest and most efficient, and I haven't used it in a while, and I'm just kind of like, I don't want to use it anymore. I'd rather get something else. And this pit freaking kicked ass, man. So once I burned everything and got all the compost, dirt, and all the stuff in there, got it all the way to the bottom, I was originally thinking of getting some rebar and drilling some holes and putting it across and everything, but I'm like, man, I don't want to do that. But what I have, or I do have, but we had an AC. So each room in our house has like a external, like a window type AC, but it's built into the wall. It's got like a little metal frame around it, people not to steal it. And so we had that in our house, but then we got a split type in our house. So we just had this, metal frame sitting empty on our room for a couple of years. And then when those contractors were here, that was part of the work we had done, is we had that taken out and they filled in that wall, the little hole, for the AC. And they actually used it. So it was this, it's a big steel kind of cube, but it's, it's a cage kind of thing. And it was sitting on the side because they used it to step up when they were getting some cinder blocks and I had forgotten all about it. And I was like, oh man, where's that thing, Oh man, where's that thing? But so what I did was I took that like metal frame and I cut off some of the bars or rebars or whatever to make it flush. And then what I did is I just kind of dug a little trench. I keep hitting the microphone. What I did was I just dug like a little trench that, the same, dimensions as the metal box frame thing. So it sit down in there. So the top of it was, like 25 inches from where the coals would be, a good. So I did that, and then I just put a bunch of rock and gravel in there and filled up to, the 25 inches. And then, so the whole point, man, I'm a bad storyteller. The whole point was I wanted to do it without really spending money. You know what I mean? So I had my compost. I didn't have to build anything. I didn't have to buy any cinder block. I didn't have to buy any rebar. I didn't have to buy. And I actually could have done it without buying the metal, the grate, the grill, I guess you would say. We bought like a heavier duty kind of like fence grade, and I just wanted.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Thanks again for listening to The Objective Jerk. I greatly appreciate it. If you could like, subscribe, comment on wherever you're finding this, and you can also email me at theobjectivejerk@gmail.com. So hope you're enjoying it, and please continue on with the episode. wasn't even going to buy anything at first because I have some old rebar grades from my smoker and something else I was just going to use and put those on there. And it would have worked, but then it was flipping the hog would have been a pain, possibly. I didn't want to try and, I mean, some people flip it, you know, before it gets too, you know, too soft, too tender that it falls apart. So, you know, you're supposed to like right at a certain temperature, you know, flip it before it gets, you know, too well done and then it falls apart. Or you can do like chicken wire, or what I was doing is like this grating kind of thing. It's not like diamond grating. It looks like a fence, just a, you know, a thick, you know, square kind of whatever. And people use them for fencing and stuff like that. But I guess they only sell it in like the 4x8s. So my wife bought that, and then she bought some wood and some charcoal. And that was the only money we spent, was just on that grate, which was, I think, less than $10. And then she got some wood and some charcoal. So I just cut 2 of those so it fit in there. So I could put the hog belly down, let it cook. And then when it was time to flip it, I got the other grade, which is the same side, and then we just laid it on top, me and my son, and we just flipped the whole hog. So then it was laying on the new grade, and then I just took the one that had been laying on for the last 6 hours and put that aside. It worked out really good. And I still have enough for a bigger grade to do, because the whole grade did not take up the whole pit, because I had to get in the sides with charcoal, you know, to add wood and charcoal and heat and stuff to cook the pig, right? So it couldn't be all the way. So the last piece that's left is actually a lot bigger, so I could actually cook like a lot of chicken, whatever. I mean, you know. But the point is, where am I at? Okay, I'm only at 11 minutes. Okay. This isn't even what I wanted to talk about in the podcast. So I'd never done like a fire pit before. You know, I'd watched videos and stuff and seen different things people do it. So I was nervous about it. You know, I didn't want to mess it up. But doing like, you know, I said in the night, I had fire burning, and just as the charcoal every hour, scoop some charcoal and stick it in all 4 corners. I had my little laser thermometer thing, and I couldn't find my meat thermometer, you know, where you stick in the meat. I had one that was broken. My wife was supposed to buy another one, and I was like freaking out about that. I was like, man, I don't know. But I was just going by this one recipe that I found, and, you know, the timetables and everything, and it cooked really well. Like I could have flipped it a little sooner actually than I did, because I was checking the temperature and I was like, man, it might be done. It might be ready. But I was really nervous about undercooking it. You know, I really wanted to get that meat thermometer so I can make sure that the hams were at the right temperature, you know. So finally I was able to get one, checked it, and it was good. It was like a little over. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then we flipped it. And then the skin did not get as crispy as we would like because it was already cooked. So it actually cooked. I don't know if it's because of where I'm at, like, you know, the altitude or the humidity or whatever, but it cooked fast, you know. So instead of like 6 or 7 hours then flip, here I could have flipped it at hour 5, you know. And then I could have lined a bunch of charcoal in the whole bottom instead of just the corners. And then when I flipped it, to really crisp the skin up, you know, for the last hour or 2 or something. But that's next. I kind of want to do another pig, just to kind of perfect. Because, you know, if I wait another year, it's gonna be like, oh, what did I do? What, I can't remember. What? No, you got to do the stuff, or at least I do. I have to do things repetitiously to really get it to sink in and stuff. But long story short, it turned out great. I was really happy with how it turned out. It was really good. I wasn't worried about the skin, but Filipinos so my wife just like big portions of the skin she put in the oven to crisp it up and stuff. but we had pulled pork sandwiches. I honestly don't know if the family if they liked it or not, to be honest with you. Now that I think about it. I mean, they were eating it, and so far whenever I've kind of smoked something, like I smoked a turkey one year for Christmas and stuff, everybody liked it, so trying to bring a little like, American barbecue to over here. Not that there isn't, but just at least in my immediate radius, because they do roast pig on like a spigot, and they just kind of cook it so the skin is always crispy, but it's just kind of the same. It's like everywhere we go and every kind of thing, it's always that same kind of pork, the same way, and it just gets kind of old. It's just the best food. No matter how good something is, if you eat it all the time, it starts to get a little bland. You know what I mean? So yeah. So hopefully, what's coming up? Where are we at? We're January. I don't know. My son has a birthday, but that's pretty soon. And then after that, God, it's not till, I guess, June. Yeah, so like almost like 6 months, 5 months from now. Anyway, but hopefully get something done, get something roasting again so I can perfect it. But anyways, a lot of fun. So I enjoyed that. I love the fact that I got baptized and I cooked the whole hog, and it turned out really good. Other than that, I didn't really care. I stayed up till midnight, stupid motorcycles and all the crap going on, whatever. But I was tired, so I went to my father-in-law's and went to sleep. Probably about 1, I think. And then I got woken up around 3 to go home. So that was my New Year's. How was yours? Oh, really? Cool. Now, the whole reason I wanted to record the podcast. So, as you may or may not know, my podcasts are basically when something kind of comes up in the zeitgeist or whatever. I don't know, in the headlines or some. I mean, there's so much stuff going on right now. The car bomb, Tesla, and the Trump, all this other kind of stuff, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I don't know. You would think that's what I'd be talking about, but I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. At first, I thought that maybe it was just like the guy meant to just send a message kind of thing, but now they're saying that he shot himself before. So I don't know. It's kind of crazy, but it's just more TDS, more Trump derangement syndrome. I think, I hate to say it, but I think there's going to be a lot of suicides once Trump is inaugurated. Once it becomes official, I think people are going to lose their mind, and then the following weeks, there's going to be a rise in suicides, and it's all going to be like because of Trump or something. Seriously, I do think that. I hope I'm wrong, but just like this stuff going on, and then like the stuff you see, well, some of the stuff you see in the news, like about them saying like Kamala Harris can stop the votes of Congress, validating the votes for Trump to be president and all this stuff, and it's like, well, so what would you call that? Would that not be a insurrection? I mean, so they're because he was an insurrectionist, which was never, he wasn't. He was never charged. Nothing was whatever. You know what I mean? They're just, the news and the media and the lefties have said it so many times, they just think it's true. And so they're crying about an insurrection, and he shouldn't, because of the 14th Amendment, he should not be president. They're going to go and do an insurrection? Dude, the people voted, democratically, which the liberals are always crying about. Democracy, our democracy. Yeah, we voted democratically. for Trump. Like, what's the problem here? Like, what, they just can't get it. They don't get it. They are so see, I'm trying not to say the F word, but they're so stupid. They are really, and it's not a lot. I don't see some of my, well, which ones that are left anyway that I converse with, on the left, friends that are on the left. I don't see any of them posting any of this stuff, so I don't think that they're like, dude, he won, it's over. I think they're a little more realistic. So I think a lot of this is just the really gone loonies. And a lot of it's like, I think on TikTok or something like that. And they're like, oh my gosh, look at this. You know what I mean? Like, they're getting all excited. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, man. It's like, do you hear yourself? Do you listen to what you say? You're going to, because Trump supposedly is an insurrectionist, you're going to cause an insurrection, or you want the like, and it didn't even happen. There's so much proof out there showing that they don't see it. They just choose not to see it, And it's like, now there's like a bunch of conspiracies on the left, And it's like, you know what? Screw you, man. That's ours. Get your own shit. You know what I mean? Just because a lot of the conspiracy theories that were floating around became true doesn't mean that's what's going to happen for you guys. You know what I mean? If you're stupid, you're stupid. What can I say? I don't know. It's just insane. It's and with, like, the stuff at the Trump Tower, and then you had the guy, which wasn't really anti-Trump. That was more, I don't know. I haven't read too much about it. The guy in New Orleans. But it's crazy that they're both ex-military, and there's a lot of similarities between the two, which is, makes you kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of weird, but I don't know. It's crazy. But yeah, watch. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. Because no matter how psycho you are, I don't want you to end your life. You just need to get help, stay in a hospital, psych ward or something. But it's going to happen. There's going to be a surge. Yeah, sad. But anyway, don't let it get to you. If you're listening to this and you hate everything I say, I don't know why you'd be listening to this, but and you're dreading Trump, dude, it's not going to be any different than the last other 4 years he was president. The world's not going to end. See, the media, man, they just made everybody so psycho. They think that the world's going to absolutely end because of him. It's like, it's no different than when Reagan became president, or when Obama became. It's the same. It's like, calm down. Yeah, I know there are some, some things that, some presidential orders that kind of ruin stuff, but I don't know. Nothing that's going to make the world end, at least not now, I guess. I don't know. I guess it's all baby steps, right? Anyway, I think that's it for me. Thanks for listening. Let me know how your New Year's went, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you, and God bless. You just put yourself through another episode of The Objective Jerk. Thanks again for hanging out with me. Please email me at theobjectivejerk@gmail.com. Like, subscribe, comment, wherever you find this, follow. It all helps. But thanks again, and I'll see you next time.